Hi and welcome to part 2 of tuning a HW99s. So the rifle's back. I've had it for a few weeks. I've been shooting, well it's longer than a few weeks now actually. The weather's not been particularly great, which is why it's taken me a bit longer than I thought it was going to get this second part out. But yeah, and I've not shot this quite as much as I would have liked, but I think it's getting fairly close to being bedded in. Anyway, so tuning a 99s. What did I have done to this? I'm going to have to refer to my iPad for this. So, according to the Ratworks website, I had the Ultimate Springer tune done, which consisted of a complete strip, service and degrease, remove burrs and parts polish, a custom top hat spring guide to reduce spring noise, reset of the trigger, Delrin piston rings, compression tube honed, Delrin ring fitted to the outside of the compression tube, and lightweight piston modification. I also had a piston seal upgrade, and I had the red seal put in, which apparently is a specially designed CNC made piston seal made from high quality molybdenum disulfate. Anyway, impregnated and permanently lubricated and rated to 1000 bar. Ratworks say this offers even better sealing than the Eco and standard seal, as well as being even harder wearing due to the design and nature of the material it's been made from. So basically that cost me, what was it? Let's check automatic tune. I am going to see what it comes up with on the website. Courier, collection and return, customer drop off and collect, advanced tune, and let's have a look. Sorry about this. Add to your bag. £195. So I think I paid a bit extra for the red piston seal as well. So anyway, so what did the best part of 200 quid get me? I think the first thing to do is chuck this over the chronograph and see how it performs. I've got the original chronograph results from pre-tune written down, so let's get on and see how this does. Back with you in a minute. Okay, so just like the first video, or part 1, 6 shots of the JSB Exact Jumbo Diablos, 15.89 grains, 551s on the head size. It's the same tin of pellets that I used in the first video. I've been saving it for this video. Let's do 6 shots over the chronograph and see how this is doing. Okay, 559.5, 11, just over 11 foot-pounds. .551.5, seem to be getting that half foot per second in. To be fair, I'm more interested, the power is decent. I'm more interested in the variation, the variability between the shots, the variation in the string. .556. .553. .555. Okay, last shot. 556.9. Right. So let's have a look through this. So originally the average foot-pound energy was 10.2 with an average velocity of 538. Highest reading was 532 and 546 with a deviation between the 6 shots of 14 feet per second and a variation of 5. So let's have a look. So average foot-pound energy average foot-pound energy now is 10.89. So that's gone up 10.9, 10.2, 7, yeah, 0.7 foot. So yeah, it's gone up a decent amount, over half a foot-pound, 0.7 foot-pounds. The average velocity now is 556, fairly fitting for a 2.2 rifle, with a minimum on that string of 551 and a max of 559, giving me a deviation over the 6 shots of 8 with a standard variation of 4. So I'd say there was an improvement there. You know, we're looking at, we've definitely shrunk the deviation between shots, the variability between shots, and the power's gone up, which obviously, you know, you would hope if you'd had it tuned, you'd hope the power would go up by a decent amount. And I think for a Springer like this, you know, around about 11, high 10s, low 11s is the sweet spot for something like this. Obviously I could probably have asked Phil to see if he could get up to 11.5, but you know, it's a lightweight Springer. Yeah, you kind of want to have that power in that sweet spot for me. So I'd say around about 11.1, which is pretty close to what this is now doing. Right, I'm going to take a target down range. I'm going to shoot 5 shots and see how it groups. Hopefully we'll, well, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do this rifle justice. As I keep saying, I am not the best Springer shooter in the world. I am mediocre at best. This has been pointed out in the comments, and I totally agree with everybody that says that. So I can only hope that I can do a halfway decent job. We'll have to find out. Right, 5 shots, 30 yards. Oh, I hate this bit. I'm the weakest link when it comes to this, so cats. Always a feature of this video now. Right. Right, let's go grab the target, see how we've done. Right, so how do we do? Well, that's the right way up. So that's the overall grouping. If you squint and give me a little bit of latitude, that pretty much doesn't quite fit underneath a 5p piece, but all of those shots are touching the very edges. So, you know, that's pretty much, if you give me a little bit of latitude, that's pretty much a 5p piece size group. What that group does goes to show is my inconsistencies as a Springer shooter. You know, I keep saying this, I make no bones about it. I am not the best Springer shooter in the world, and this goes to prove what my issues are. The first shot pretty much went straight through the middle of the bull. I tensed up at that point. Yay, you know, well, let's do really well. So I got a little bit, I think, overexcited, a bit tense, and you could basically see that sort of extra tension. You know, I started the grip changed, and my next 2 shots went up at the top, went up here. I then relaxed a bit more, you know, oh, damn, relaxed a bit, a little bit resigned to, I've messed this up. And then I dropped the second shot, the third shot fourth shot down into the bull area again, and then tensed up once more and put the fifth shot up into the where the first two shots went. So there you go. You know, the importance of consistent hold when shooting a Springer. Having said that, for me, 30 yards with this rifle, you know, that is you know, that's an improvement in my shooting, I think. Or maybe what it goes to show is exactly how improved this rifle is after the tune. Personally, I think it's a mix of the two. I have been shooting the TX200 quite a bit while this has been away, so I can only assume that I have, you know, the amount of variance in my hold and grip is I'm starting to smooth that out. What else can I say about this? I think if a decent Springer shooter was shooting this, those 5 shots would have been, you know, it would have been easily a one-hole group at 30 yards. I think with a bit of practice, a bit more practice and getting used to this, once again, practice for me. I don't practice enough with Springers. You know, I tend to use PCPs more than that. I shoot Springers for fun and PCPs when I'm doing pest control. So I need to practice more in the garden with this. I think, you know, I only need a little bit more work and I'll be more than capable of shooting this for pest control out to 30 yards, which would be really, you know, really nice thing to be able to do. Having that level of skill, having not to rely on a bottle and a pre-charged rifle to, you know, shoot squirrels in the wood and just be able to pick up a rifle and go out and, you know, nail the pesky critters, will be superb. I would, you know, I'd love to be able to do that, but with this rifle at the moment, I'm just not quite happy with my performance on it. Anyway, so let's talk about the rest of this. In terms of the chronograph performance, I don't know if I've said, I can't remember what I put in the first half. I'm actually shooting this a couple of days, actually a week or so after the first bit. I did the whole video in one hit, started editing it and realised, yeah, this part was a bit rubbish, so I'm redoing it. Anyway, so enough of that, excuses out of the way. So the first pre-tune shot string, 6 shots over the chronograph, averaged 10.2 foot-pounds with an average velocity of 538 feet per second. Standard a deviation between the 6 shots, high to low of 14 feet per second. Post-tune, the average foot-poundage has gone up to 10.9, so that's a 10.89, I'm calling it 10.9. So that's a 0.7 foot-pound increase, so that's almost 3/4 of a foot-pound. The average velocity has increased to 556 feet per second. 556 is, yes, fairly fitting for a 2.2 air rifle, with a deviation between the highest and lowest shots of 8 feet per second over the 6 shots. So I've almost, you know, we've increased the power by 0.7 foot-pounds, and we've decreased the shot spread by 7 feet per second. So I mean, we've almost halved the spread between the 6 shots, which, you know, I think is really good. In terms of the firing cycle, one of the other things I said on the video that I was really hopeful would be got rid of was the buoying. There was definitely that Springer buoying, and that has totally disappeared. That's totally gone. The shot cycle on this is now very sort of, I think if I said it was purposeful, it's a bit woolly, but I can't think of anything else to describe it. Progressive isn't the right word. I wouldn't call it progressive, but it's definitely, I don't know, it's clean, mechanical. There's a real sort of purposeness to it as the sear lets go and the piston travels forward, with a decent sort of thunk. You know, it's got a good sort of thunk to it. I think if you look at the first video, pre-tune, and then the video that I shot last week, and you listen to the shot cycle, you can hear a change. You can hear a change in the report. you know, in terms of how the rifle sounds when it's firing. So if you've not noticed it, go back and listen to the two different videos, and let me know what you think in the comments below. So I suppose the next question is, do I think it was worth the £200 I spent on it? First off, I realise £200 is no small chunk of change. I could have gone for the cheaper basic tune for £100, and just to let you know what that includes, that would have been a strip service and degrease, production burr removal, custom top hat and spring guide, and a trigger reset for £100. Now if you have the kit, you know, you have your sash clamps, spring compression kit, you know, you're good at doing work on an air rifle yourself, and you have the time, you know, you can buy a TBT kit for £50 and do it yourself. I personally, I don't have any of the kit to strip down a spring air rifle. More importantly, I struggle with the time. I struggle with the time to get these videos done at the moment, which is why my upload schedule is a bit rubbish. So, you know, handing Phil the money to do that sort of work for me would certainly wasn't an issue. Did I need to spend the extra £100 as opposed to the basic tune? Well, I wanted to see exactly what difference you know, could be done. I'm sorry, they're having building work next door, so if that's crash bangings coming across on the camera, I wanted to see exactly what could be done if you threw the kitchen sink at it. As I said, I'd save the money, I'd put the money aside to get the work done, mainly so I could make this video, but also because I wanted to have a rifle that I knew was totally sorted, and that will hopefully have a good and long-lasting life, and one that hopefully, providing I can, you know, stay alive for long enough and stay mentally firm and physically fit enough, that I get to teach my grandchildren how to shoot on, and I can hand to my son, you know, and give to him to pass on and pass on, providing we're still allowed to have these things. Yeah, so I'm hopeful that this is going to make this, going to give this a decent amount of legs in terms of longevity. Am I happy with the result? Do I think the result was worth £200? In hindsight, I should have probably spent £100 on the basic tune, and then spent the next you know, then spent more money on getting the advanced tune done, just to see the difference. I am more than happy. I think I am very happy with the results I've got. You know, a 0.7 foot-pound increase, the reduction in spread across the shots. You know, yeah, I am more than happy. The firing cycle is so much sweeter, so much nicer. I loved shooting the 99 before it was tuned. I love it even more now. And as I say, you know, much like anything in this air rifle game, if you've got the money and you're happy to spend it and it puts a smile on your face, then I think worrying about the costs, you know, oh my God, is this a good value or not? You know, you get to that point where, does it put a smile on your face? How much is that worth? You know, are you going to enjoy shooting the rifle more for the money you spent? Or, you know, if you're buying a rifle, are you going to enjoy that rifle more than the other rifles that you've got? Or, you know, are you a cheaper rifle? For peace of mind and for the grin factor, it's an impossible thing to quantify, but I think that's the most important thing. And therefore I'm really, really happy with the spend. And I think I'm going to end it there. I want to say thanks to Phil at Ratworks for tuning this. I did pay the full whack for it. You know, Phil knows that I'm doing this video. So, you know, I just want to make sure, I just want to be absolute transparency. You know, this wasn't done for free. This is my own money that went into this. I have no ties with Phil. He charges me full price for all the work. And, you know, I'm happy to keep it that way. I think I want to bring total transparency, and I want you guys to know that I have, you know, no vested interest. I'm not sponsored. I'm, you know, not getting anything for free out of these guys. So yeah, let's just leave it. Overall thumbs up. Really happy with the work that's done. Really enjoying going forward with this rifle. I'm going to enjoy hopefully getting better and better, hopefully improving my skills as a Springer shooter. And I tell you what, I'm going to do a quick group. Well, I'm going to do it. I've already done a quick group with the Super Domes, the pellets that this rifle pre-tuned, preferred, you know, favourite pellet. I've already done the group for that. I did it a couple of weeks ago when I shot the first half of this video. I'm going to attach that to the end after this, so and just put that up there. I'm not going to tell you how I did. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you're not interested in the RWS Superdome bit, the video's over. If you are interested, there'll be a little bit at the end. Anyway, cheers, all the best, and stay safe. Right, so I've roughly zeroed the rifle in for the RWS Superdomes in 14.5 grains. So this used to be this rifle's preferred pellet. I've probably put 15 shots through, sort of to DJSB the barrel. You know, yeah. I know, because otherwise I know there'll be people shouting at me in the comments section going, oh, you can't just swap from one pellet to the other, you've got to lead the barrel in with the other pellet, and you know, I'm not discounting that. I don't think I'm a good enough shot to be able to see the difference. Anyway, here we go. Typically the wind has got up. Safety. Right, let's go and grab the target. So, how do we do? Well, I mean, to be fair, there's not actually that much in it. Yeah, I mean, the first shot I pulled, I don't know if it will come across on camera, but my elbow slightly slipped just as I pulled the trigger, and yeah, I yanked that one off. I think I swore under my breath. If that came across on camera, I apologise. There's not much in it. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a tough thing. I'm just gonna have to keep shooting this rifle and, you know, test the pellets over a period of time to see if there is a true difference in terms of the barrel preferring one over the other. It's a hard life, but you know, somebody's got to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching this last little bit at the end of the video. If you stayed on and watched it, I hope this little bit's been of interest. Once again, thanks for watching, and I look forward to the next time. All the best. Cheers.